could we talk a little bit about cueing transitions?
Sure. If we're doing a one-chord jam, take a look at that. Right? This could get boring after a while. Oh, let me say this too while I'm thinking about it. Let's say Dave takes the first solo. Let's just pretend we were playing a blues. Don't go to blues, stay here. Let's say we're playing blues, which is already 12 bars. If you take 6, 8 choruses, and you're the first soloist, you just gave everyone else permission to take 6 or 8 choruses. Right? You did. So state it. Couple choruses, 4 tops, get out. Right? Get out. Give everybody else a chance to do the same. Okay, one chord jam. Now you guys, you heard me before when I verbally said, go to F, go to the 5 or whatever. But there's some musical ways of doing the same thing. This is the obvious. I told them we're staying there. Here we go. So I'm just making it obvious. I don't want to make you guess when we're on here. So that was just a musical conversation. Everyone in this room knows that, but we don't all do it. We know it, but we don't all do it. So these are the things that we need to practice on. These are just musicianship. This has nothing to do with how well I play the bass. It's how musical am I? Do I know the musical language? Right? And the interesting thing, I went from the 4, 5, back to 4, then I went back up to the 5. I threw everyone off, but the groove didn't change. Right? No one messed up the groove just because they didn't know what note I was going to. That way, if you're dancing, you keep dancing. Didn't matter that we missed the wrong note.
A lot of popular music is not that sophisticated anyways when it comes to harmony. It's all diatonic. It's 1, 3, 6, 2, 5, 1. So if you can memorize what the intervals sound like between 1, 3, 6, 2, 5, 1, then when he was setting that up, he was doing it, when he went back to the 5 end, he was using fast, he was using chromatic notes, and he was setting it up real nice with the, I guess it'd be a, and then he said, I'm going to go back to the 5.
Right.
It was telling me that's where we're going. It's all kind of right there.
And the main thing is that we're doing, to use a theoretical term, we're using diatonic harmony. I'm not going to a strange place. I'm going to places everybody knows. If I want to go to a strange place, I might say something. And there's nothing wrong with just saying, hey, let's go to a sharp 5, or let's go to F minor, or whatever. You can talk.
Yeah, I was going to say you could have gone either direction, by the way, when you went back up to the 5.
Yeah.
Because I heard it was leading back to the 1. So I went to the 1, Victor stayed to the 5. But it still worked, like you were saying. Totally
Now,
cut the root.
here's the thing. Listen to this closely. Listen closely. If I go, right? If I do this, now if I hear this note does not lead to the 1. Okay? If I would go. See the difference? See the difference? So, But because it's happening like that, if you mess up, who cares? No one. I don't care. It doesn't matter. But in my mind, from the way I've grown up, like everybody, we all have grown up differently. In my circle of people that I played with forever, because I learned from Reggie and all those guys, if I do this, that note, just that note, says not the one.
Passing tone.
It's a passing tone leading me there. That note would be enough to tell at least the people that I'm used to playing
It
with.
becomes
That's
like
not the one.
familiar road signs.
Yeah.
They
Right.
just become these
It's like
familiar sounding
Right.
road signs, and it kind of tells you where it's going. But
And
a lot-
everybody's different. Everybody's different.
And a lot of it just comes from listening to them records. You know, them 60s soul, rhythm and blues, 50s rock and roll, everything. Ever since rock and roll was invented, basically, even going back to before that, bluegrass and country music and stuff like that. But there's a lot of similarities in that diatonic harmony, and there's characteristics of style that the bass players be doing in all those different genres. There's a certain way to play a Texas shuffle, there's a certain way to play a Chicago shuffle. There's gospel, there's all different kinds of stuff, and when you learn that, I was taught that it's called the bags, learning the bags. The bag of that gig is this certain thing, you know, like in rockabilly, they'll come up from they'll do the 2. They'll come up from the 2 instead of the 5. They'll substitute a 2 chord for the 5, and they'll climb up the 5.
Okay, but listen closely, listen closely. When they're going to the 5, they'll use that. But on the way down, they skip it.
That tells you now we are going back to the 1.
That
By
note
skipping it.
typically is not used to go back to the 1.
Yeah, I would never think it would be.
So, but who cares? Who cares? Because the note he went to anyway when I went back to the 5 worked. It's fine. You know, when I go to the 5,